Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. And in this one, it's basically just going to be the same as all of these first impression videos that I do for every set now. And that is basically going to be just me rambling on for a few minutes about why you should not play my very, very bad, unrefined version of a deck that exists. Now, if you want a good Ogrepon deck, I did actually do a Ogrepon deck list video where I basically just went over a bunch of upcoming decks from Japan. I know that those deck lists are not in English, but they are just significantly better than probably whatever I could cook up here on the channel. So, that's just a fair warning, basically. But, not to degrade my content too much, and I'm sure most of you have already clicked off by now. But either way, if you're still here, have a cookie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching anyway, but either way. But yeah, enough rambling. The main point of the video is, of course, to offer some, at least initial impressions of this Ogrepon EX deck, and I basically summarized them in the gameplay video, which also has a bit of a channel update in it. So, if you want to stick around for that, that'd be great. But either way, Ogrepon is an absolute blast. That's all you need to know, really. It's an absolute blast to play. It's pretty much what I imagined. It goes quickly, it goes fast. It's very, very fragile, so it's very much a glass cannon. You thrash Charizard, seemingly. I've not had any problems against Charizard so far, but then again, I've only played 6 games with this. This is, of course, my first impressions. This list is also very unrefined, and as a result, I'm playing Sinstature and not Raging Bolt. And you'll see in the gameplay that this deck is nothing compared to Raging Bolt. Yeah, spoilers, we lose, but yeah. Sinstature is fantastic as a budget option for this deck. I know it's a rare, but it's still a very, very cheap card. And this is, I think, the cheapest way of playing Ogrepon, necessarily. Yeah, probably the cheapest way. Sinstature is, of course, very fragile, does have 2 very fun attacks. Curse Drop, allowing you to place 4 damage counters, quite nice. But then Spill the Tea allows you to discard up to 3 Grass Energy from your Pokemon. So not just Sinstature, can be from Ogrepons as well. And you do 70 damage for each card discarded in this way. So a very nice single prize attacker, can swing for 210. Very, very nice, much appreciated. I like cups of tea. So yeah, that is why Sinstature is here. But yeah, the main point of this deck is kind of just to counter all the Charizard on the ladder. It's supposed to be a turbo build. You could play with Sinstature EX actually as well, but again, this is very much a first impressions video, and I don't want to spend too long talking about this deck. But yeah, I probably won't leave a list in the description, and that is a 100% intentional. So if I see anyone commenting, where is the list? Why didn't you include it? Then here is your explanation. This deck is bad. This deck is bad. It's fun, right? It is fun, but it is bad. There are better lists out there. 16 energy needs a few more, but yeah. This deck is just really bad compared to Raging Bolt, which is a fun statement to make, actually. And if I'm going to take one positive thing away from this deck, it's that Raging Bolt is actually good now, legit good. And I don't have to make up excuses about why I'm still playing Raging Bolt, because I had an absolute blast with that deck last format. Even though I wasn't able to play too many games with it because I wanted to move on to things like Gengar and Incineroar. Spoiler alert, Incineroar and Gengar were both horrible, but yeah. Either way, that Raging Bolt deck was a lot of fun. I know that a lot of people thought it was clunky and whatever. I get that. It could be clunky. But at the same time, when it popped off, it really popped off. And this set with Ogrepon just now means that Raging Bolt can pop off even more and be really good. So Raging Bolt has kind of hacked into this video and claimed all the sauce. But yeah, this deck is fun, right? It is fun, but it's just so bad. It's not worth playing unless you're, unless you're a huge fan of Sinstature, I guess, or you want to play a better version of this deck. Because, I get that this deck isn't refined. It is a first impressions list. It needs work and stuff, but at the same time, if you can play an Ogrepon deck, probably don't play this one. But either way, I hope you enjoy the video. Stick around for the gameplay if you want to, and do stick around for the channel update, because that's mildly important. If you want a very brief summary, it's budget is the focus moving forward. But yeah, it's been our power, and hopefully I'll see you all in the gameplay and future videos. But yeah, first impressions, feels very fun, but yeah, kind of bad. But yeah, either way, thank you for watching. Okay, so this is going to be my initial impressions of a Ogrepon toolbox deck, I guess. Well, Ogrepon with Sinstature. So this is going to be pretty much actually my 3rd game of Twilight Masquerade so far. So I'm super curious to see how this goes. it looks like we're against Raging Bolt Ogrepon, which is poised to be one of the best decks in the format, apparently. I wasn't aware that this deck was a thing until about a week before the set came out. So, yeah, I'm in the very first tier, by the way, of the league. So, I'm just going to assume that my opponent has had a lot of prep time and have been testing this deck, and they know what they're doing. So, yeah, despite their rank being very low, I'd imagine they are well equipped and we're going to get thrashed basically. But yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity though, assuming we don't lose in like 2 turns, to basically just give some overall thoughts on Ogrepon so far. Aside from the about absolute thrashing that I'm about to get, this has been a really really fun deck to play. Like in all honesty, it's been a lot of fun. Like it does have its ups and downs, of course. Like I think keeping energy in play can be a bit difficult, and in many ways, I sort of wish we had Wishful Baton back in standard, but of course they reprinted Wishful Baton technically, but exclusively for the what do you call them? Retreat cost for greater Pokemon, so like Iron Hands and such, which I can kind of guess. I guess that makes a bit of sense. We can I don't really. Do I want to take that? I'll take the Poltergeist. Why not? But yeah, we want to focus on single price Pokemon this matchup. But either way, yeah, I do think it's a lot of fun. What are my words? What are my thoughts? I think it's a lot of fun. It is a blast. It's not really the kind of deck that I would play IRL just because it takes a lot of like thinking all the time. Like you constantly have to be on the ball thinking about things. But it's not really, yeah. It's not a deck that I would play IRL, I don't think. But I'm saving that for the festival deck. The Sin Stitcher, however, has been a lot of fun to do. I mean, like 210 damage is very respectable, but yeah, Raging Bolt unfortunately is just absolutely wait, how many energy do I have in hand? I have 5 energy in hand. Okay, I can take Greninja here. Yeah, we'll take Greninja. But yeah, Raging Bolt seems to be the most optimal way to play Ogrepon. I just happen to enjoy Sin Stitcher a wee bit more. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and use concealed cards. And we can hope that my opponent will break. I mean, they need to find a lightning energy, but they probably already have it with the Earthen Vessel. Did we just draw more energy? I think we did. Or EXP share down here, I guess? Question mark? Yeah, sure. I think this is going to get killed, but we kind of need to draw more cards anyway. Can we draw some more cards, please? Attach energy here. Now, we can't use Gardenia's Vigor either, which is a bit of a shame. Nest Ball, that's quite nice. So, one thing I will say about this deck is that it's very fast. But yeah, it'll be a very different story once we start to do videos on Raging Bolt version of Ogrepon. So yeah, very, very scary deck. But I am glad that Raging Bolt has ended up being really good, in all honesty, because like last format, when Raging Bolt was like a D tier deck, basically, I always found it to be a blast. And even though I was able to get a few wins with it, of course, I did respect the fact that not everyone like thought the deck was super great. So, I kind of respect that fact, and I'm kind of glad in many ways that Raging Bolt players have, basically risen up in the world. They got something going for them. And if you were fortunate enough to buy Raging Bolt's last set when they were like a couple of quid or a couple of bucks easy, then now you're sitting pretty because all you need is Teal Master Ogrepons, and then you're pretty much ready to go. So yeah, pretty cool, I would say. The only concern I have with this variation of the deck is you don't get access to Sandy Shocks, I guess. So I guess you have to like remove Sandy Shocks and make room for Superior Energy Retrieval. Yeah, I think that has to be it. And surely they still play Sada, right? I'm guessing so, at least. Yeah. Speak of the devil, there's Sada. So my opponent is about to build to, well, in theory, they could KO anything in the game turn 2, which is very scary, but you know what? We're going to play this out anyway, just because I want the gameplay and I want the excuse. I'm also a very lazy guy, in case you haven't noticed from my previous videos. I also have a finite amount of time in my life right now, so I would much rather dedicate videos and content and testing in general into things like, well, budget stuff, really. Like, budget is where it's going to be at, so expect a lot of budget decks, hopefully, moving forward. I'm going to try and record a lot in the next few days, but we'll have to see how it goes. Now, I kind of want to just swing into this thing, even though I can't kill it, I don't think. 30, 60, 91, 20, 150, 180. No, I can't. Yeah, this is going to go south very quickly. What a bad matchup. Anyway, it's fine. Like, we could have used Sinister, I suppose, to do 210, but then we would have discarded all our energy, so... What to do? I think I'll attach a grass energy here. We can evolve here. At least we can keep the energy in play thanks to EXP share, which is quite nice. I will, I guess, Arvin. Sure. Maybe I should have waited to see if we could get another supporter, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference at this point. Like, even if we hit them with an Iono, I don't think it'll matter, so... EXP share. I kind of wish this was a tool card, even though I have no clue how that would work. I kind of wish it was, but yeah. EXP share feels like a must-have in this deck, though. Like, I think Bravery Charm is it Bravery Charm? It's a charm anyway that gives you plus 50 HP. I think that one's also really good, just because, you know, like, if a Charizard swings into you for 180, for example, then they can't finish you off with a Charmander. Which, it sounds like I'm talking from experience, because I am. That's what happened in the last game that I played, so that was annoying. Still won, though, which I'm happy about, but, you know. Yeah, still won, but, you know, it's still annoying. Attach an energy there. And we are basically facing an uphill battle. I mean, I'm literally playing a worse version of what he's playing, but it is fine. It's fine, he says, you know, house burning down. We can attach energy there. Might as well use Radiant Frog. Not sure what I'm digging for here, really. And yeah. Not much. Can evolve another tea, though. That's nice. Get another cup of tea going. But yeah, this deck is essentially like a prequel to that deck, I guess, minus all the grass stuff. But yeah. Oh, I can Teal Dance again. May as well, right? I don't think we need to save the energy. I mean, this game is a lost cause. We know that already, but I want my challenges, so I will be playing it out. Draw a card. There's Gardenia's Vigor. Don't need it, though. Buddy Poffin? Sure, why not? I will Buddy Poffin. So I've been waffling for quite a while now, judging by the fact that I've gone down the timer a bit, so I'll probably concede after a few turns because I don't want to waste this guy's time. I know for a fact that this game is a lost cause, but I will KO one Pokemon and then I'll concede. But basically, I'm going to take this opportunity, because I know this game is a lost cause, is to talk about the future of the channel moving forward. I'm going to do that very quickly. Basically, I've got some stuff going on in life. You know, it's just some personal stuff. It's going to work its way out, but, you know, it is going to last a wee while. So content might be a bit patchy over the next few weeks, but I would like to have more of a focus, if possible, on budget decks and budget and rogue, really. But I'm also aware that being a budget player and a rogue player in today's climate is significantly more difficult than it used to be, you know, especially when you've got high HP, 2-price Pokemon running around. And I get that, you know, some other channels, you know, not pointing fingers or anything, are able to do like daily budget videos. I get that. But I literally don't have all day to find good games with budget decks. So I need to really focus in on 1 or 2 decks realistically and spend a while trying to perfect them. So I do have a few decks in mind. The Festival deck, of course, is a deck that I really, really want to play. But, you know, aside from that, there's like 1 or 2 other budget decks that I have an eye on. So I just want to perfect them, have a blast with them. You know, they might be a bit flippy at sometimes. You know, I'll state at the start of the video if I think it's worth building or worth playing, for example. Really? You're not going to let me get the KO? Really? Oh, screw you. I'm going to counter catcher. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, the future will be budget decks, I guess, mainly. But yeah, it is a bit tricky sometimes with budget, you know? I'm not like another YouTuber who can get great matchups, you know? It feels like when I play budget, I get paired up with like hyper competitive decks. And I guess that's the point of budget, is to show what you can do against competitive decks. But there's also a reason why they're called budget decks. Like, you get absolutely thrashed by most things. So yeah, that's kind of like my main concern, at least going forward. Can we Sinstitcher here? Yeah, why not? Yeah, we'll use Sinstitcher. But yeah, basically, so that's like the future, I guess, of the channel. And I can't really do much else right here, but okay, Grass Energy. Thank you, that was nice. I don't think there's a strictly correct order to do this in. So I'm going to Gardenia's Vigor. Gardenia's Vigor? Is it going to work? Or is the game going to crash? No, we're still here. And I will attach there. Now, unfortunately, no, that was the wrong thing to do, actually, because if I had Radiant Greninja into another energy, I could have Teal Mask to see one more card. Okay, that was something new I didn't think about. Okay, cool. But anyway, regardless, we're going to counter capture. And we're going to finish this thing off. Now, this thing has 290 hit points, so let's not fumble this KO. I need to do... Can I get away with doing 140 to this thing? I can't actually do maths in my head. I'm so thick. 290... Yes? Question mark? I'm not sure if I can, but we'll get away with it anyway. We'll see. If I fumbled this KO, then that's quite funny. You know, well, it's not funny, but we'll see. Unfortunately, yeah, my opponent has like absolutely destroyed us. But actually, what am I doing? Why am I discarding them from Ogrepon? Sinstature, go. Right, 140. Is it enough to KO, or can I not do basic maths? It was enough to KO. Thank goodness. Now, my opponent, of course, will just boss the game next turn. So we didn't even have to concede, actually. But yeah. So yeah, the future of the channel, back to the main point, is probably going to be just budget focused. But again, it will be a slower feed of content. I would like to take a look at some more card reveals, actually, coming out soon. Because I know Night Wanderer is going to be legal for Worlds, which is both jarring and super cool. You know, it's entertaining just based on the fact that it's going to be like a 2-week window between that set releasing and the World Championships taking place. So if you're competing at Worlds, then I feel sorry for you because that is not a lot of time to test out all those new cards. So yeah, I feel bad for you. But yeah, I'm guessing like a lot of the summer, like July, June-ish, will be people like testing out Okie Dokie and stuff and proxy stuff. So I will like try and get some videos out of like early deck lists for those cards. But yeah, it's going to be annoying because throughout all of July and, well, most of July and August, Japan will have, what's it called? The Stellar set, Stellar Miracle. They will have a Stellar set and we won't have that. And then we'll get their Night Wanderer set, which releases in Japan in like 2 weeks. But yeah, interesting. But either way, my opponent has just won, so I'll wrap up this video by saying thank you for watching. I'll give this 1 energy to Sinstature. And yeah, say thank you for watching. We'll probably revisit this archetype, by the way, again in the future, but it is just worse Raging Bolt, so you know. But yeah, this has been Power, and as always, thank you for watching.